Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. I know it's been quite some time since I've been back. I had a lot of personal things going on. I probably will be making a video about, my absence of my YouTube for 2 months straight. Well, 3 months straight since I haven't posted for 3 months. But for the meantime, I'm just gonna keep this basic, educational, and me. So we're gonna be talking about things, how I feel being transgender. So if you want to keep on watching, don't leave. Hi guys. Okay, so I really been wanting to talk about this topic for a very long time. I just never had, I can't say I never had the time to film this video because I always do. It's just like a lot of things go on, a lot of things happen in so little time, and I've experienced enough to have my own story and my own advice to give to other people. Not just trans women or trans men, like anyone in general. But last year I had made a video of 10 things that I hate being 10 things that I hate about being transgender. I think that's what I titled it. I don't remember. I'll leave the link down below if you guys want to check that video. It's going to be a similar video, just with more depth into the video and knowing more about it. So I have been transitioning for 2 years, almost 3 years now. In 8 months, I will be 3 years since I started to live my life as a woman. Between that time, I have experienced a lot of things with men and with friends, with family, with, everyone in general. It's not just me, myself, and I. When you change, when you're transitioning, it's not just you who is transitioning. It's also people around you. It's, you get to see how people take it when people knew you for so long as, the someone who you haven't, who you never were, basically. So it took me a lot to realize that even though I was happy with myself and living my life the way that I have always wanted to live my life, a lot of people weren't going to be accepting of that. A lot of people weren't going to be okay with that. And this is what I want to talk about. I, you know, I hate being me sometimes, because even though I am super happy and super positive about everything, or any outcome that comes towards me, I'm still human. So I still break down. I'm still breakable. I still have feelings. I still feel everything. But it's a lot harder when you've been diagnosed with depression, or your mentality is not all the way there. And hormones it doesn't help necessarily. Like, it made me happier, but it didn't help me mentally. So that's the thing that people need to learn when you're about to transition, is that hormones don't fix everything. And for a long time I thought that it would have. So when you're on hormones, it's basically you being on your period every single day. It's just like a woman who is a cis woman who has their period every once a month, whatever. It's us, but we have it every day. I'm emotional, I'm angry every single day. I'm a wreck. So sometimes I I hate being me. I hate having the label, because I am so much more than just that label. And I don't hate who I am. I hate that I'm not seen for more, that I'm not seen for who I am as a person, because my label is unfortunately what makes people either, want to experiment with me, or dislike me, or judge me, because, a lot of people think, oh, well, she's trans. So, it just comes with this whole book of people saying, oh, you're transgender, so there's surgeries, you used to be a dude, like, etc, 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 etc. But what really makes me really mad, and I wish that I could change, but I know I can never change, is that I wish people would sit down and actually take the time to listen to someone who is transgender, to understand what it feels like to be imprisoned in a body that is not that never matched your mind, that never felt complete. And it's difficult because, you know, I live in a state where everything is super religious. You know, it's hard because a lot of guys here, you know, want to be low key, want to keep your secret, you know, want to have a pity fuck, just want to use you for something that just want to use you, period. So I I have a very active dating life and whatnot. As you can see from my videos, from my previous videos, I go on dates a lot. I meet different kind of men every single day from, you know, from different ages. It's not just one specific person. You know, a lot of people have judged me for this because they're like, well, you know, you should stick to one person, this and that. But it's not, I'm not a bad person for wanting to experiment, for wanting to, you know, try out new things, for wanting to extend, is that a, yeah, I guess that can be used, extend my horizons or whatever. You know, I've dated mainly white Caucasian men. That's my typical type. You know, there have been here and there a few Latinos and, you know, black men, an Asian person. Well, actually, a few Asian guys. You know, so I want. I don't know. I want more. I want to be seen for me, not for my label. So I date a lot. I want to learn from a person. I want to see what makes that person be attracted to me. Is it because I'm pretty? Is it because of my label? Like, why are you here taking me out? That's basically what I'm trying to make this video about, is that every night, not every night, but every once in a while when I get asked on a date, a guy either knows that I am transgender or doesn't know that I'm transgender. You know, there's a lot of people being against either, you know, not telling someone who is trans or telling someone you are trans, or, you know, what's on with that, like what's going on, like. And here's the thing, when you're transitioning and you become this different person, I wouldn't say new person because you're still you, but you become different, is when a lot of things change. Not, like I said, not just you physically or mentally, like people around you change. People start to notice you. People start to see, oh my god, she's so pretty, or oh my god, like, you know, I can't believe she used to be a guy, or, you know, they start talking bad about you. You know, it's always either positive or negative. It's, you know, it's not always one of a, like, more of another. It's always both. So for me, I'm going to be super blunt. The intention that I get now is intention that I have never, ever, ever have gotten before I started my transition. Yes, I talked to guys, you know, before my pre-transition, but I hated dating guys because I didn't feel comfortable dating a gay person. I just didn't feel comfortable enough. In general, like whatever guy that I was dating was not enough for me. I felt like a woman, and sometimes, you know, there were gay guys who were just like way more feminine than I. Well, not way more feminine than I was, but more. They were just feminine in general, and that wasn't attractive for me. So, you know, I used to experiment with guys who were in the closet, low key, bisexual guys, things like that. So when I started transitioning, maybe around, it took me a while to actually even push myself out there to start dating before when I was transitioning. It was a very scary thing. Um, so yeah, so I didn't start dating for a while. When I, when I did, a lot changed when I got maybe towards my 6 months of my transition. I looked a bit more feminine. I presented myself more womanly, I guess. Yeah, I don't know. Um, you know, there was guys like left and right in my inbox and my Instagram, my Snapchat, my Facebook, my Twitter. Like, it was crazy. Like, you know, it was like, it felt good to be seen, but being seen can also be a really bad thing because I've encountered really, really horrible experience with a lot of guys. You know, I've even talked with guys who were like super religious, you know, Mormon or whatnot, And, you know, I would talk to them for a while. There was actually this guy who I didn't expose, but I posted his messages on my Snapchat like a couple months back. And he was Mormon, and he wanted to take me out to eat dinner and watch a movie. And I had told him yes. And I didn't want to tell him that I was transgender because I wanted to see what's so different about a religious man, you know? But I felt not guilty, but I felt like, I don't know, I felt like I had to be safe. So I told him, and he ended up being okay with it. But after that, he's like, actually, do you just want to come over and fuck? And that's when I said no. In my social media, everyone sees me like talking about sex, me being super sexually active, like me being all this fucking crazy. But little do you guys know is that it takes a lot for me to even have sex with someone. Like, yes, I go out and, you know, fool around and do whatever, but I never give it up just to anyone. Um, it has a lot to do with my insecurities with myself, and also just with, you know, being healthy and safety. You know, it's not just because I don't want to, or because whatever, for whatever reason. It's just because of my own insecurities and for a lot of other reasons. So, you know, it pisses me off because this guy was not the only guy who's ever told me that. He's like, okay, you know what, like, that's super cool, but instead of me taking out, let's fuck instead. Trust me, I've had plenty of men hit me up and tell me that, you know, fuck like the whole date. Let's just come over, fucking chill. Let me fucking suck on your titties. Let me do this to you, blah, 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 etc. Boy, like, do you know who I am? Like, you're not getting none of this, and you're not gonna be using me as in a fucking experiment or as a fucking petty fuck. I am a fucking human being, and I have fucking feelings. So it sucks. It sucks being, it sucks being me. Let's just say it. It sucks being me. Um, you know, there was this guy a long time ago. It was like maybe almost half a year. And God, he was gorgeous, and he was super sweet, and he was great. He was honestly amazing and whatnot. Like, he was perfect. Let's just say that. Even though perfect does not exist in my world, he was fucking perfect. And he did not know I was transgender. I went with the lead of not telling him that I was trans. Because to me, I can't believe I'm being super vulnerable about this, but sometimes I don't feel good enough for someone. And I felt this exactly same feeling for this guy. So I decided not to tell him I was transgender. And we went on a date. Everything was great. We went bowling, and after that, he's like, if you're super comfortable with it, do you want to come back to my house and we can grab food and, you know, watch a movie? And I was like, fuck, like, he doesn't know. Like, it's gonna be taking advantage of the situation and of him. But my selfish ass did it anyways. And I told myself, okay, if you're gonna go over, you're going to keep yourself on check. There's gonna be no kissing, no cuddling, no nothing. You're not going to take advantage of the situation. You're not lying to him. You're just not telling him a part of you because you're not ready to. And that's what I told myself the whole entire night. And then we watched the first movie. I forgot what movie we watched. And then after that, he's like, okay, let's go get dinner. So we went and got dinner. We came back to his house and started watching a second movie. And after we finished eating, he was like, okay, I'm sorry, I can't take this anymore. Like, can you please come cuddle me? And I didn't want to tell him yet. So my stupid ass decided to crawl next to him. Well, not crawl, but, you know, scooch over to him and start cuddling him. And he was amazing. He was respectful, he was sweet, and it was nice. But he wanted to kiss me. He ended up kissing me, and I kept pulling away so he wouldn't kiss me. And, you know, he was like, what the fuck is wrong? Like, you know, like, am I ugly? Like, and it wasn't that. He wasn't ugly. He was fine as fuck. So, you know, I should have been all over him. But there was just that one thing that I had not told him yet. And I ended up telling him, and we like stopped everything. We stopped cuddling, and he just stood up And it was in a situation where it was a little scary, because when you tell someone in person, like, you don't know what the reaction is going to be. You don't know what's going to happen. And this is probably like my second time doing this with a guy, telling him in person. I do have a first video of me telling someone I was transgender the first time, and it was like in the beginning of my transition. So if you want to check out that video, link will be in the bio or below. Anyways, back to the story. He didn't say anything. He stayed quiet the entire 20 minutes that we just stared at each other. And then after a while, he's like, "Can I take you home?" And I was like, "Yes, you can take me home." And when I was, putting my shoes on and, getting ready to go back home, he reached over and kissed me in my cheek and then in my mouth. And I was so confused because, we stayed quiet for 20 minutes, and after that he kissed me. So I was like, what? We got home and he was still a gentleman, like when we were going into this car to come back home, he opened the door for me, and when I got off the car, he opened the door for me again, so he was super respectful. And I understand that he was probably okay with who I was, but he wasn't comfortable with dating someone who was transgender. I ended up telling him, "Hey, it's totally okay if this is not what you want, if this is not what you're looking for. I get it. You don't even have to message me back. I'm so sorry for not telling you. I should have told you." And he's like, "Okay, it's okay." And he kissed me in my forehead. And then I went home. Well, I came inside and I broke down. I literally started to cry. And I wasn't crying because, I had just been rejected. I knew I was rejected. I wasn't crying because of that. I was crying because, fuck, I hate it. I hate feeling this way. I hate feeling like I will never be enough for someone because of my fucking label. And I hate it. It sucks. Like, I'm saying it bluntly because, people are probably going to be like, "Oh, then why the fuck are you doing this?" And I'm not doing it. Like, I'm not doing it because I want to be this person. I am this person. So I'm always going to be this person no matter what. So it sucks though, because you have guys that after they ask you on a dates, like you tell them, and then it changes to, "Oh, well, let's just fuck." Or you have guys that are super okay with it, but it's just not for them. Or you have guys that you're really genuinely digging, and it's like, okay, well, maybe this will work out. But fuck, it was just never meant to be. And it sucks. Fucking dick. Like, huge dick. It sucks. Like, really, really bad. And this night, I promise you, I have never, ever, 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 ever cried at a situation like this. I have always told myself, I am not for everyone. I'm not. And I understand that. But at this point, I've just been dating for, a year. It was around almost my 2 years of my transition. And nothing. I have been happy with, with my ex before even I transitioned. Like 4 years being single, I was ready to put myself back out there. I was ready to have someone in my life. That's what I thought mentally. And I am. I'm not going to say that I'm not, because I am. But it sucks because sometimes you're so used. I'm already used to it, to tell you the truth. I'm used to getting either, getting a no, or just, not getting a message back, or whatever reason. I'm used to being told, not being told, but I'm used to getting the messages of being rejected, or I'm used to getting, people saying, "Oh, well, I only want to hook up. I only want to experiment." I'm used to being a fucking petty fuck. I'm used to it, period. So at this point, I honestly, when I was crying to my sister, actually. Like, she was hugging me. She was crying, like, "What's wrong? Like, did you do something?" Because I went on a date. Like, "No, nothing." And I didn't want to, she could not understand. She's 14, so she's not going to understand what I'm feeling. So I just cried to her. And here I am thinking, I was so fucking like, fuck, I honestly hated myself. Like, I hated that I wasn't born the person that I should have been born. And I know it sounds horrible to say it, because it is horrible. Because even though I wasn't born in the body that I should have been born, I still admire myself a lot. I still respect myself a lot. I have come such a long, long, long way from when I was born to coming out as gay to coming out as a woman. And it has not been easy. It's been the worst, hardest three years of my life. It has been. And like I mentioned before, it's not just you yourself changing. Your friends change too. Your family either accepts you or they don't. It's a huge change, not just with yourself, but with everyone around you. And here I am continuing, to still date. I did have a boyfriend back 7 months ago. It didn't end up working out. He was 25, so he was way older than me. And, sometimes I say this all the time, like, age is just a fucking number. It's literally, it doesn't define someone's maturity. And let me just fucking tell you this right now. He was fucking white privileged as fuck. And he was immature, incredibly immature. And I don't know. I don't know what to think anymore. I keep having hope. I keep being super optimistic. I'm not being optimistic. But it's not easy sometimes. Sometimes it's really fucking hard because I don't have a lot of trans friends. So, I can't always go to someone and talk to them and, have them understand me, because I can't really talk to my cis friends because they don't understand. They would never understand what I go through. They were born the body that they represent today, the body that they identify in. They were born that way. I was not. I was born this way, but born in a body that I was literally imprisoned for so long. So my thing to everyone out there who is, attracted to trans women or is, date trans women in general, or even men, is be understanding of that person. Treat that person with care and with love, because he or she is way more than just what their label says. We have so much more to show you and for you to learn than just the label that we give off. We are special and unique. We really are. We have all gone through a fucked up journey. I can guarantee you there's not one trans person that had their journey to be perfection. Everyone goes through shit. And it's just not even just transgender, people in general. It's also cis people. I understand that. And I always put myself in both situations, in both, places, to understand the trans community and to understand the cis community, because that's how I am. I want to be able to understand everyone. For me to be able to help people out, for me to be able to make people understand where I'm coming from, I have to understand where they're coming from. So, with this video ending at 23 minutes long, I do hope that if you are transgender, I hope you know that life is beautiful and it has its moments. It really fucking does. But everyone, I feel this in my heart, and I know for a fact that everyone has one person that will love them regardless of who they are. So, don't give up. I'm 21 now, and I have not given up. I'm still out here trying, and I'm still going to continue to try, because, even though maybe I shouldn't even be looking for love. Maybe I should just, fuck it and do me for some time. But I'm still gonna, date. I'm still gonna see how things go. I have needs or whatever. But, yes. Thank you for watching this video, and I hope you learned something. I hope you take this video in a way where, trans or not, you understand a little bit of where trans people are coming from. And also trans people need to, because I know there's a few people out there who are transgender who are not super understanding. Sometimes, we want to fucking bawl the fucking eyes out of a fucking cis person. Trust me, I know. But in order for us to be happy with, everything in general and just being like super positive or whatever, we have to be able to put ourselves in situations that a cis person would typically not. So, if that makes sense. Anyways, like I said, thank you for watching this video, and I hope you learned something. So I promise I will be uploading. I actually have a little secret that I want to start a new like series on my channel. It's gonna like a trans series with like I have trans women and trans men come and talk about their transition and you know even more dating lives and more crazy shit. But I don't know yet. We'll have to see because I do have to contact a few people that I do know and see if they're comfortable with being on camera and whatnot. But anyways, if you want to continue following my social media or just, you know, watching my Snapchats because I get pretty fucking crazy, my username and all that stuff is going to be at Ruby Puga, so RUBIIPUGA. All of my information, and it'll also be in the box below, so go ahead and check that out. And don't forget to give it a fucking big thumbs up because, bitch, I need a motherfucking thumbs up. Thank you for getting my other video, the last video that I uploaded, for 6K. Like, holy fucking shit, that's crazy. And I got about, I think, 50 new subscribers. We're at 600 and something, so let's get to 1K. I know we can do it. So yeah, so don't forget to give it a big thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe. Thank you for watching. Ciao.